Hello, this is my guide to playing Sun Tzu in Romance of the Three Kingdoms 14 on veteran difficulty. This has traditionally been one of the recommended starts for players in the Romance of the Three Kingdoms series. You start off in Guiyang, neighbouring a number of hostile factions that are more powerful than you but with an inferior selection of officers. Yuan Shu to your north is your ally, though he will break off that alliance on occasion once he declares himself emperor. Liu Biao to your west is hostile to you from the start, due to the historical conflict between Xinjiang on behalf of Yuan Shu and Liu Biao on behalf of Yuan Shao. Yang province is occupied by a selection of independent warlords who are going to be your initial target of conquest. Before you can move out against Yang, you'll need to build up both troops and supplies. New to this series and by design, you start off very poor in terms of both gold, troops and supplies. This is what makes this, in my opinion, an enjoyable start, as you have to play very carefully with the resources that you have. And unlike the South start, a similar start where you have a faction with many powerful officers but little troops from one city. There is no quick and easy solution to this. There's no easy empty city you can walk into that will provide you with all the troops, supplies and gold that you need. You will need to play very carefully with the resources that you have. I also want to point out in later DLCs for this game, Koei acknowledged that this scenario is perhaps a little more challenging than they intended, and as a result they introduced a series of events that effectively gives you Yang province for free. I will not be using these events as I think it takes away the fun from playing as Sun Tzu. However, play as you find that gives you the most fun. If you decide to use the events, instead of playing as I do here, I would instead concentrate on going aggressively for northern Jing, as you'll be able to leave Lujiang lightly defended without much risk. If you can leave 5,000 troops in Lujiang at all times, even if Yuan Shu turns on you, you will find you'll be able to repel nearly any attack that comes your way. Now, for my starting moves, I tend to play quite precisely, as there's very little margin for error at the start. I like, as always, appoint an overseer to recruit troops, go to your administration, and this is very important, go for strengthen owl, hand down, and go for train engineers level 1, level 2. I also like to appoint Zhang Zhao for domestic, and Chengpu for noble. Everything else can wait. So in terms of what we're going to do here, on turn 1 we're not going to deploy for Chai Sang, however you'll see what happens there shortly. I am instead going to send Sun Tzu out, owl formation, to take these empty provinces. 1, 2 and 3. Move him in, and with the remaining turns, oh no, wait, before I do that, I like to shift Zhou Yu into an intelligent boosting title to get him up to 97 intelligence. I find it helps make your searches, your employment options more accurate. Before then, we carry out the remainder of the turns available to us, the orders, carrying out searches. There's a fair few starting officers in Lujiang that are free that you can pick up. And this is a start where you very much want every officer that you can get. There's 1, 2, we got a bit unlucky. No, not to worry. So, first of all, and very importantly, we are sending Han Dang out, 8,000 troops, owl formation, to Chai Sang. Now, as I said, there's very little margin of error for what I'm trying to do here, and it doesn't always work, so we'll see shortly in a few turns. With the rest of the orders, with the newly taken cores, appoint the famous officers to fill those up as quickly as possible. Song Qian, send somebody out to hire him. Appoint commercial officers into the rest of the ports, the towns, the cities. Commercial is the only area delegation that doesn't cost you money, effectively in the long term. It pays for itself, whereas the agricultural and military development doesn't offer any financial return. So I always go for commerce in this start, as you are really short of cash. And I think that might be it. Am I forgetting anything? No. Okay, another turn goes past. There we are, there's Lu Su. Chou-Tai. Now, Lu Su is an important officer to get, as he has the wealthy trait, helps generate more gold for Lu Jiang, and you'll be spending a lot of your gold, if you get lucky, on buying supplies from a merchant once a merchant does appear, like it has done in this turn now. However, okay, 10 gold for 20 supplies is quite possibly the worst ratio you can get. We aren't going to be buying supplies yet. That'll have to wait next season, next year, whenever it comes about. Yeah, so filling the gaps as we do there. Hire Lu Su. Use the rest of the searches as we do there. And I didn't explain on turn 1, but the reason we don't send Han Dang out on turn 1 is you need to wait a turn for the personnel upgrade to take effect. If you send out turn 1, by the time Han Dang is being employed, he has the level 1 boats, which means he can't sail across to Chai Sang as quickly as he can here. So it'll be, I think, 2 more turns here before we can move into Chai Sang. The game isn't quite accurate with its projections of where you can move. You will see here, Yuan Shu's asking you for supplies. Oh no, he's not asking you for supplies, he's asking for one of your provinces in exchange for gold. I always say no to these, it's not worth it in the long term. Now, there is some margin of error with this, depending on who Liu Biao deploys. Our next move is to go for Changsha, and I'll explain why. So, if you have a look at Chai Sang, the cores it has, we have 20,000 population there, 18, 30, 14, 17, 16, 11, 20. Not terrible, but also not fantastic at the same time. If we look at Changsha, 50,000, 44, 47, 49, 20. It's going to be a far better city for recruiting and transporting resources to and from. So here we go. Handang in owl formation, and I said we really do need a bit of luck here, as Cai Mao is almost certainly going to go for Changsha with his 1,000 troops. So for this to work, we need to cut off his supply trail before he makes it into the city. I've tried this a number of times, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Now, here we are here, Lu Jiang. Apologies about that, just had to mute myself to cough. We are going to transfer some spare officers over to Chai Sang. That's the way to do it. And point Handang to oversee that there. Now every turn what I'm going to do, auto search all except overseers, find and hire them where I can. Now, Cai Mao has the trait Helmsman, which helps him ignore zone of control, but it doesn't help him move faster on boats. So we will see how well this works. I think we might possibly be in luck here. So, self-proclaimed Emperor, I always activate this as I think it makes the scenario more fun, but if you want an easier time, don't make Yuan Shu Emperor, he is less likely to betray you. You can pay in gold and maintain that alliance if you want. Not how I like to play, but as I said before, play as you enjoy. Now, with Sun Ce here, I'm just going to take these empty provinces. Actually, does crane have more maneuver than fish? I have actually forgotten that. Very embarrassing. Yes, it does. So off we go. Chai Sang should have some spare officers. Sun Ce does start out with quite a large number of officers, certainly enough to fully occupy 3 cities. Once you reach 4, you start to struggle, but 3 is all we'll need before we move on for Yang province. Okay. So, Cai Mao should continue on going. There is a chance he sees Handang and turns around, and Handang is, as they say, the trait reckless, so he'll automatically pursue any enemy he sees. But I'm not overly concerned. So for Chai San, commerce. Now, unlike in previous videos where I've said economic development isn't terribly important, because you are so poor, it matters a bit more as Sun Ce. So, as you may have saw me do there, I always shift away from agricultural development to financial, and if I can't commercial, and if I can't do that, then I go for military. But agricultural never seems to be worth doing. Maybe going for Lu Jiang. If he is, I will probably not bother contesting that. Oh, also to point out, Song Jiang there has the fish policy, which is very good. It's only level 3, but the way these policies scale isn't linear, I should say. So, fish level 3, strength and armed forces level 3 gives you fish level 6. Fish level 6 is more than twice as strong as fish level 3. We'll see this in effect of reorganised morale as well. Level 4, reorganised military, gives you 107 max morale. Level 10, reorganised military, gives you 130 max morale. So the more levels you have, the better it is. Which is what makes Sun Ce's doctrine very, very good. No wasted schemes, good amount of personnel, good amount of domestics, fantastic support, fantastic battle. One of the best, really. So keep on searching. And let's see if this has worked out as I've wanted it to. Is he going to turn around? No, he is not. And as we can see, our boat is twice as strong. We have the upgraded tier of boat technology through our doctrine. We also have a warlord officer. So, with this done, going to march into Changsha. Now, you have to do this precisely. If you miss out even one turn, Liu Biao walks into Changsha, and that sets you back a bit. It's not essential, but Changsha is such a good city. I like to take it on as soon as I can. And you can see what a difference having the famous officers makes for developing your cause. We're nearly done in Guiyang, however, only a few turns afterwards Cai Mao is barely developed at all. Oh, he's starting to retreat, but he's not going to get very far. And we have captured him. I believe Cai Mao is friends with Liu Biao. I could be incorrect there. Let's have a look. No, he is not, but he does have a wife. No, he doesn't. He has a sister. We may very well be able to steal him, actually. That would be an interesting twist to the scenario, but let's see. So, with that done, Han Dang is going to march into Changsha, and I am going to send some spare officers our way to take over those empty cores and to develop them as quickly as possible. Ah, now look at that, there's Wei Yan. I've just noticed here, the merchant is back, and he is offering 60 supplies for 10 gold, which is significantly better. So, still doesn't give us a lot. I am going to spend most of our money getting 20,000 supplies, but that will go a long way when it comes time for taking Jianye. I am going to try and take Cai Mao. He won't join me right away, but with 93 loyalty, and I think he has, train engineers level 4, we'll never need to worry about Liu Biao having superior boat technology to us. And regarding Liu Biao's taking over of this core here, I am not going to bother contesting it. I don't want to waste my supplies fighting over that one little core. Now, in terms of titles, I should have talked about this quite early on. In order to unlock your first manual tactic, adjudicant, that's what they're called, you need regional governor. To have regional governor, you need 3 cities and 1 province. Now, the difficulty here is your province is Yang, so you need to take 3 cities here in order to qualify to get that upgrade. Alternatively, you need Northern Jing or Southern Jing, neither of which are easily attainable, so it's going to be a long time before we're going to be manually able to activate our tactics, which is one of the challenges you face as Sun Tzu. I've moved Chengpu and Xiao Hong south. In the meanwhile, I'm just going to fill these provinces with wherever I still have available with the highest commerce, which happens to be Lusu. Once Port Wangkao is full, I'm going to send Jiangzhou south as well. Worth a shot. I think we might be able to get him though. There we are, that is what I anticipated might happen. So, I wonder actually if this applies to the AI as well. When you dissolve an alliance manually, your troops often, or your officers I should say, often lose loyalty. Looks like it, so we may have a few of Yuan Shu's officers heading our way. Let's see if I can actually hire any of them.
立刻出发。
动身吧。
So, very important, juggle the domestic officers around. You can see Chengpu, Changsha on their way to Changsha, as that is the province I want to develop as quickly as possible, as that will be bringing in the money, gold and troops.
我愿倾尽全力。我会誓死效忠。
Not bad. Now this will vary, of course, depending on if Yuan Shu breaks the alliance, and which officers have their loyalties lowered the most. But there might be an officer or two you can pick up if this happens. Oh, again. Ah, oh, okay. Oh, this might work. I would very much like Lu Meng, as in this scenario my biggest complaint is that you do not get Lu Meng as he starts in Runan and almost always joins Yuan Shu. So let's hope that works. Let's see if we can get Cai Mao. Now, again, move away for agriculture, which they seem absolutely obsessed with promoting. And take the remaining cores.
大家出发！有什么事？遵命。
All assigned. All assigned so far. There we are. We got him. Well, you don't see that every playthrough. Now, let's cross our fingers and hope we are just as lucky with getting Lu Meng. If we get Lu Meng in exchange for the alliance breaking down, that was absolutely worth the trade. Now, the difficulty is, because we only have the two personnel traits, we can't get level 10 regardless of having Cai Mao, because the most we can get is 7. But, you know, if Sun Ce were to die and a new ruler were to take place with a different set of personnel slots, or even a trait that boosts personnel, such as Sun Quan, then 2 slots are all you need. Oh, while I'm at it, let's not forget to do this. Yeah, that's all we need. Now this officer, Lu Meng's gone. Worth a shot. But that officer we just found there, seemingly a no-name officer of no significance. However, if we look at the traits he has been given, any second now, he has Ministrant, which is one of my favourite traits, Summoner, which is always good, though he does have somewhat low strength that mitigates that, and Agriculturalist. He's, for a no-name officer, he's surprisingly useful, a hidden gem of sorts, and I'm most definitely going to want to be hiring him, which we'll do here. Well, making sure to take... Oof. Well, he's not going to be conquering it anytime soon, but just to oversee him while more officers are sent our way. In terms of spare domestic officers, not a lot to work with. But they will do. huge amount to work with at all. You've already got 3. You've got 4. So Chen. You have 8. Yeah. That's all we're going to need for now. So at this point, our opening moves are more or less completed. The only thing we're going to have to do, and it takes a little bit of time, is build up these 3 cities, which is what I'll be doing before I attack Jianye. So there'll probably be a fairly big time skip before I resume the video. I will, of course, resume if anything interesting happens in the interim, such as an attack by Liu Biao, but I'm not anticipating anything of that sort. We'll see, and I will be back shortly. One massive mistake I've just noticed I've made. I have accidentally left Zhao Tai on Training Overseer, which has resulted in a Lu Jiang nearly running out of gold. This could hurt me quite a bit coming forward. Fortunately, we've already bought some supplies, and what can happen, and one of the reasons I like to go for Changsha, is this puts us in range of Shi Xie, who will often give us gifts in exchange for friendship. So we will now be very dependent on Shi Xie sending gold and food our way. But I've also just noticed we'll buy a little bit more gold, a little bit more food here as well. Not that much. Over 20,000. Because the bottleneck really is food playing with Sun Serve, especially when you're marching into mountainous terrain and an attack will take you twice as long as you're expecting it to. The more food you have, the better. So we've got 40 there, 15 there, 40 there. Really not much food at all, not much gold at all, but this should be enough. There we are, our piggy bank has arrived. Now, I am on the fence about moving into Guiyang until I am allied with Shi Xie, which will then inevitably happen, and I don't think Shi Xie is likely to expand out due to his very limited number of officers. As you can see, he's got 7 officers spread amongst 3 cities, which is not a very good ratio at all. So I think he's likely to want to ally us. If he does that, I can move into Guiyang, which is nowhere near as developed or populous as Changsha, but I have the officers for it just about, so I might as well make a start on it when it's safe to do so. And okay, you can activate this event if you want to. I'll do it just for the sake of it. Gives Yuan Shu a stronger enemy to the north, which might keep him distracted. And give Liu Bei his wife if you're feeling as generous to do so. And also, what I'm waiting for oh no, I've messed up. I have messed up. So, you need to keep Sun Ce in Lu Jiang. I forgot about this, which is terrible. If you keep him in Lu Jiang, once 18 turns have passed, you get the event volunteers, which gives you 3,000 more troops, which is huge in a start like this. So, don't do what I've done there. There we are. I've moved Sun Ce back into Lu Jiang because the public order is 100. I can activate the event. 3,000 troops. Because the event works only if your capital city, which is the city your ruler in, has 100 public order, which this does, and this does not. So these are the events I referenced at the start of the game. Starts with a duel at Shenting, and follows by Liu Yao flees, which gives you the cities for free. Knowing that you're going to play and use these events at this stage, you can see there would be no reason to play as cautiously as I have in Lu Jiang. That city would be yours in a matter of turns, and you could more or less attack Changsha right now. However, because I'm not going to be doing that, because there are 20,000 30,000 troops in Jianye. I'm going to have to be a little more careful than that. I've decided I'm going to take a chance, and I am going to go for 7 Jing, Guiyang. Massively risky, and I don't feel particularly good doing it. However, I don't think Shi Xie is going to be able to challenge me, and Liu Biao, he's not looking too good either. I think this is going to be relatively safe. If I'm wrong, I'll just empty the city and take all the food and gold with me, but we will soon find out. The worst case scenario is Shi Xie decides to attack me. This ruins our diplomatic relations and he no longer feeds me gold, which would be a shame, but something we can deal with. Well, didn't get Lu Meng, but I got half the pair. He has decided to leave Yuan Shu's force voluntarily. Certainly doesn't hurt. And apparently there's more officers in the Guiyang to hire as we speak. What you'll often find is officers that Yuan Shu couldn't hire in Shouchun because they dislike him, and there are a fair few officers that dislike Yuan Shu. This is what happens. So keep on searching, keep picking up on these officers, and this allows us to expand freely as we're doing now. So around this time I have started recruiting in Changsha, as the city is quite well built up and self-sustainable, plenty of gold coming in, and about 1,000 troops roughly per recruitment, 1,000 exactly, compared to the 1,100 coming in from Guiyang, so about equal. And very soon, I think if we get Duji there, about 800, so I'll start doing that in Changsha at the same time. So that will be 3 cities, recruiting troops, able to pay for them, and we will be in a position where we'll be able to get going, hopefully not too far along the way in the future. There we are. 5,000 free gold and an alliance. Would have taken it for free. So that is Jing secure. There is only Liu Biao in northwestern southern Jing, which is a mouthful. But he only has 2 officers there. One of them might be Huang Zhong, but he's not taking a city. He's not coming on the offensive with 1 officer. It'd be very easy to cut him off, and 2,000 troops maybe, that's all you would need. Okay, so it's July 195. I think at this point in the next video we are going to be ready to launch the attack on Yang province. Apologies if this has been a bit of a boring one. You do spend a lot of time getting started as Sun Ce, but once we do get started we are going to be in a very good position to quickly move from Jianye to Wu to what's that city called? Huaji. So I think in the next video we're probably going to be able to clean up Yang province quite quickly. So if you have any questions, any feedback, any thoughts, by all means leave a comment. I'd be very grateful for any feedback, and I hope you've enjoyed the video, found it helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.